Today is a good day. So we've picked up 6 different spiderlings from the spider shop, which have been delivered today. So we're going to go first. We've got the Cyrocosmus elegans, I believe that's how you say it. The love heart, but these are a dwarf species, so they are very small, but they're very cool looking. Then we've got the Heteroscoda maculata. We've got 2 of them. I think I said that right. Also known as the Togo starburst. Then in here's the, I'm not even going to try and say the scientific name, the T. rasti, the Caribbean diamond, I kind of want to say. And then the Formingoculus everetti, the don't even know the common name of this one, but yeah, we've got one of them as well. And then the big hitter, the one I've been wanting for a while, this is the Davus species Panama, the lava tarantula. I'll save this one right to the very end, but this is one of my freaking favourite species of tarantula. But we're going to rehouse all 6 of these right now in, we've got some little tubs somewhere. Right, so these are the little tubs I'll be using. These are like technically for terrestrials, but if you didn't know, most arboreal species of tarantula, when they're a sling, they do tend to sort of live terrestrially. Well, I say live terrestrially. They tend to burrow down a lot more. It's only as they start getting a bit bigger that they actually start to sort of live arboreally. So I'm happy putting these in a more terrestrial style enclosure for now, and as I start getting a little bit bigger, I will move them up. I will move them into an arboreal little setup. But first, I've literally just gone and picked these up from the local Chinese shop. I did order some from the spider shop, but I think I ordered the wrong size tubs, so I had to do a last minute trip down to the Chinese just to get some of these. Charged me £1 for 10 of them, which I don't think is really that bad. This looks a little bit dodgy what I'm doing, but this is just to I find this is the best way to poke holes in these little tubs. You heat the end of a little screwdriver up or something, one little small one like this, which I don't know where I got this from, but I got it from somewhere. Heat it up and you can literally just poke holes. Do that. Probably get about 5 holes ish out of one little heat up. See, it's like struggling on the 5th one and it just about gets it. But yeah, there we go. Five little holes, poke straight into the top. That will keep a good amount of oxygen inside of the enclosure for them, and it will also help maintain that bit of humidity that these baby little slings like. Okay, so I am going to start with the T. rasti, the Caribbean, I think it's the Caribbean diamond, I'm pretty sure. I was going to start with the with this one, the elegans, the Syro, I can't remember now. Yeah, the love heart, but it's really small, so I am gonna house him in one of these little pots that he comes in. So once I move this guy into there, then I'll move this guy into there. So yeah, let's go with the T. rasti for now. We're gonna use a nice bit of topsoil and cocoa fiber for the substrate. We're not going to go too deep. I'm just going to give it a nice little amount, just so it can sort of feel safe. It can like dig down a little bit. Let's add a little bit more than that. And I've also got a bit of live moss, which I went and harvested. It's much better just going down to somewhere with trees. Go and get yourself a nice bit of freaking moss, mate. There we go, moss. I'm also going to add in a few crushed leaves. Right, small handful of crushed leaves, just add them in, adds a bit of texture, and it will also help make the spider feel a little bit safer, because it will be able to hide amongst the leaves a little bit. So yeah, let's get this little fella out. Hopefully he doesn't try and freaking run off anywhere. These are an arboreal species. They're also quite heavy webbers, so it should be nice to see this guy do some webbing. He is going to be small, so his colours probably won't be too prominent, but they do get a nice sort of purpley sort of colour. I don't like unwrapping them when they're this small, because I feel like I'm going to like crush the tissue and crush the spider by accident. There he is, I can see him. Oh, he is only small. There he is. Yeah, so he doesn't really have the purple colours which that he will get as he gets older, but he's nice. He's a cool little fella. Hopefully it'll stay nice and chill as we put him into his new enclosure. Let me just get my little paintbrush. I say little paintbrush, it's quite a freaking massive one. I use this for my juveniles. I don't have another smaller paintbrush on me, unfortunately. Yes, hopefully. Just give him a little... Oh, I can't... There we go. Just give him a little touch on the back of him there. Oh, he's facing the tongues. Come on, in you go.
You got too excited, you didn't feed the dogs.
Oh, I don't know. There we go. He's all nice and done. He should do quite... Oh, he's gone under the moss. He's gone under that bit of moss. He'll be all right. Right, so now we've got this one ready, the T Rasties enclosure. That might end up confusing me a bit later on in the run. But we're going to do the same sort of setup, drop a little bit of that in. There we go. A bit more moss. Only need a tiny bit for this guy. Even that's probably a bit too much. There we go, be alright. Compact it all down. This guy's going to be freaking tiny. Hopefully we don't get a little runner. Where is he? Can't see him. Wait, that's not him there. Oh, that is him? Oh, wow. I didn't think he'd be that small. There he is. Bloody hell, that's really, really, really small. Okay, maybe that enclosure's even too big for him. I am going to put him in that, but I'm going to take the moss out. I thought he may have been a little bit bigger than that. It's not a problem. It's just a change of plan. Yeah, even this enclosure might be a bit too big for him. I have got one. I say similar size. He's probably double the size of this guy. Who is in one of these? It's the Brachypelma albiceps. He's got 7 legs. The Spider Shop gifted him. Yeah, let's just try and get him in there. Hopefully, don't lose him. There we go. He's in. That was very easy. Yeah, there he is. I don't even think you can see him on camera. There we go. You can just see that tiny little speck on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's him. This is a love heart, but these get to around about, I think, 4 inches. So yeah, they're not a big tarantula by any means. They are a dwarf species of tarantula, but they're a very cool-looking species of tarantula. They get the name love heart, but because they've basically got a freaking love heart on their butt. So let's put him up on that shelf there. And what have we got next? We've got let's go for the 2 Heteroscoda maculatas, the Togo Starburst. These guys, I've always wanted one of these, but it's one of them. I've always wanted one. I've seen them, but I've never gone for them for some reason. So I went for 2 today. So yeah, hopefully I won't need these again. I think this might be a bit too big for them as well, but let's go for it. We're going to go for the exact same setup. Yes, these are an arboreal species, but this size they will burrow. So it's kind of pointless setting them up in an arboreal enclosure because they're not going to use their arboreal sort of features just yet. It's more as they sort of start approaching their juvenile stage. That's when they sort of start using that's when they start going arboreal. But yeah, this size, they're not going to go arboreal. I've got a Poecilotheria regalis and a feathered leg baboon, and since I've had them, and like even they're not tiny. They're about that big. I don't see them. Like they're both burrowed down. That is a sign of a happy terrestrial spider. That is a sign of a happy arboreal tarantula though. But yeah, hopefully these guys. I've got a bit of a reputation for being hard work. Not hard work, but they're not afraid to show who's boss. So it's hopefully just get him out and nice and easy and no escapes and no tiny little tarantula bites or none freaking come running up my arm. There we go, I can see him. He's moving. He is very small, but much bigger than the last one. There he is. Oh, sorry, the tissue's in the way. Oh, come on. There we go. There he is. That's the Heteroscoda maculata, Togo Starburst. These are basically black, white, and grey, but the patterns on them, they're much more than just black, white, and grey. Probably one of the best sort of patterns on tarantulas. They're very, very nice looking species. Hopefully we can just get him in. They are very easy to keep as well. They're very easy to breed. So if you are looking to start your breeding journey with tarantulas, and you've already got a little bit of experience, this is a good place to start. This was sort of what I was hoping with getting 2 slings. Hopefully I get 1 male, 1 female, and then we can freaking do stuff with them later on and get some more little babies like this. But yeah, we're going to put his lid on, and we're going to go back to the next. We're going to go to the next one and see if he's maybe a smidge bigger. Who knows? Maybe even a little bit smaller. Yeah, he's definitely a bit smaller. Probably a molt behind the other one. Yeah, that's the typical arboreal sort of stance with arboreal tarantulas. They like spread themselves out, so they go like quite long. But yeah, hopefully we can just sort of touch his backside and it will just go wandering in. Just a little tap, just a tiny little tap. There we go, literally straight away, ran straight in. Not an issue whatsoever. There he is. He's blended in quite well, but you can just sort of see him there. They do blend in very well, very well. Where's the freaking lid gone? There it is. Lid on. Right, that's the 2 Heteroscoda freaking maculatas done and dusted. 4 down, is it? Yeah, 4 down, 2 to go. This is the P. Everetti, the Formingoculus Everetti, I think I'm saying that correct. These guys do hatch out. Not big, but they do hatch out a decent size compared to other tarantulas which hatch out. Like if you saw that freaking love heart, but it was like minuscule. This is also a very good looking species of tarantula. They're kind of a mix of all colours, like browns, oranges, and they're just very nice little patterns on them. I don't know too much about them, to be fair. I've done, oh, there he is, you can see him. He's definitely the biggest one so far. Hopefully he's got the, hopefully, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully he hasn't got the biggest attitude so far. But yeah, there he is. You can't really see too much of him now. He hasn't really got any patterns or anything just yet. But as they get bigger, he definitely will start getting all these little patterns come through. Hopefully we just walk straight into the enclosure, nice and smooth. Yep, look at that. That is what you want. That's exactly what you want when rehousing your tarantulas. Just for them to walk straight in, no issues whatsoever. But yeah, let's put him down. Let's put his lid on, and then in a few days we will come back and feed all these. We've got to give them a bit of time just to sort of settle in their new enclosure, because it does take a good few days for them to sort of feel comfortable and feel safe and sort of make it into a home. And while they don't feel safe, they won't eat, because when tarantulas eat, that's them basically being sort of defenseless, and like they let their guard down when they eat, so they don't want to let their guard down if they feel unsafe, obviously, because predators, I know there's no predators here in these enclosures that are going to get them, but they don't know the difference of the wild or enclosures or freaking whatever. Right, if you've never seen this species of tarantula, the Davus species Panama, I think you're missing out. It's also known as the lava tarantula, and hopefully you'll see why. I'm not sure exactly what they look like as slings and whether their colours are that vibrant. I'd imagine you'll be able to definitely see them, but I'm not sure how vibrant the colours will be. But these guys are a dwarf species, so they don't get very big. I think they get to around about six inches, but their coloration definitely makes up for the size. But yeah, you can definitely see the colours on him. Not as prominent just yet, but look at him, black, and he's got red legs. But as they get older, that red will be like really red. I think this enclosure might be too big for him as well, so I'm not going to house him into that enclosure. I am going to put him into one of these. Still do the same setup though, just in the smaller enclosure. A bit of moss there, and there we go. Hopefully this guy will just wander straight in. Oh no, that was stuck to my finger. Hopefully he'll just wander straight in, and that's a happy tarantula. And I literally cannot wait to see this guy grow. I've been putting off getting this species for a while, because they are slightly more on the pricey side. Not like mega expensive or anything, but they're just like compared to others, they are definitely more on the pricey side. So I've always just been putting him off, but I just had to go for it. There he is. He's having a little walk now. Just look at that. Just look at him. Let's hopefully just plonk him straight into his new enclosure with no issues whatsoever. Maybe if I just sort of touch the front. Oh no, he ran off. No. Okay. He is lifting his front legs up. I know you can't really see here. If I just try and get a little zoom in. Maybe drop you down a smidge. Move you over a smidge. Oh. I think he was lifting his front legs up as if he was sort of trying to defend himself. Let's just try. There we go. He is in. He is in. Just look at that. Just look at him. Freaking incredible freaking spider. Absolutely love him. So that all went really well. So in here is the Caribbean Diamond. In there is the Heteroscoda Everetti. These are, no, not Heteroscoda Everetti, the forming Oculus Everetti. These are the Heteroscoda freaking maculatas, two of them. In there is the Davos, no it's not, I'm getting freaking muddled up already. In here is the Love Heart Butt, very freaking tiny tarantula, and then in there is the Davos species Panama, the lava tarantula, probably the hitter of the day. I don't know what that means, but yeah, definitely my favourite, one of my favourite species. Just look at him. I cannot wait for him to get older. If you're not freaking following me on TikTok, that is the best place to see my tarantula's journey, because I do literally post videos every single day on all of these different species of tarantula. So if you're not following me there, or you've come from there, say hello in the comments. But if you've come from this video, go over to my TikTok, go and say hello to that, and you'll see and hear my voice freaking a lot more.